These top five for Jess and for anybody, your top five are what you wake up with in the morning. Like even before you put on makeup, brush your teeth, the start of your day, you are leading in those top five. They run all day.
Mm.
Okay, they run all day. You don't have to switch them on because they run all day. And for you, as wisdom as your strongest area, that run your strongest family, wisdom shows up and it runs all day. You wake up with it. Okay. And
Awesome.
that creativity, missing that part, that isn't a problem. It just means that you might not necessarily start from just a blank page.
That's
Right? You
true.
might need some support.
Yeah, that is
You might
true.
need Rachel to
I
put
need
the work.
Rachel. I need. Yeah, totally.
I get it. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so that is, that's how we kind of look at your wisdom area.
Fantastic. Okay, awesome.
There are four when the authors, and there's an accompanying book. Let's see if I can find it because I go through it all the time. I read it and go through it. I mark pages all the time. They have a book, The Power of Character Strengths. The authors of the book, and then the authors who started the assessment and grew this assessment to be this really scientific study and assessment. So the authors talk about that a true signature of strength, it falls in these three categories. It's essential. It's who I am. It's effortless. It comes without forcing. I don't need to think about it, and it's energizing. I use it. Using it gives energy back, right? I'm not spending energy. Okay. That's generally how we think of these strengths. Essential, effortless, and energizing. Just if you had to think about your those top five in these ways, which one would you say is most essential? Which one is effortless for you? Which one's energizing?
I would say for essentials, the number one, social intelligence for me is essential. It's essential in my work. It's essential in my relationships. So that's an easy one for me. Energizing for me would be appreciation of beauty and excellence. And I mean, I could talk about this for days, and I mentioned this to Dasan, my fiance, and I said, I was kind of surprised. I was delighted that it was on here. And I thought it was kind of like my secret garden that people don't know that I have this appreciation for beauty and excellence. And he said, Are you kidding me? He's like, obviously and he gave me examples of this that I was kind of surprised by. He's like, You're the person who, if somebody sells like on Instagram, if somebody tells me their story or they're like unveiling like this journey that they've had, I'm like all in. Like I appreciate people's stories. I want to know what's going on in the world. I like am captivated by the things around me. And I thought that was something that didn't come through, but he says it does. And so I think that's awesome that he saw that too. And then what was the other one? Essential, energizing, and I missed it. Sorry. Oh
Um,
yeah, and effortless.
effortless.
I think for me, effortless might be um, perspective. I think that's pretty effortless for me, perspective.
Mhm.
I was trained at a very early age with my grandfather. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur. And I would just like be in the driver's seat or sit across the table or watch my grandfather move in spaces with other people in the community, our neighbors, but then also clients. And I watched him always think about the other side of the table. He was always talking to the person as though he imagined what they were experiencing. Like it, and I can talk through that now as an adult. At the time, I was always like, how does he know these? Like, how is he able to connect with folks? And I'm sure that I learned that skill or observed that skill and saw that it was meaningful because he had a lot of great relationships and a lot of friendships. And I admired my grandfather. He's the most important like influence in my life. And so I'm pretty sure that the perspective becomes very effortless because I'm almost imitating, like watching that has just become embedded in who I am.
Yeah. Which one of these five just tires you out?
Um, Probably honesty. I think honesty is, I think that probably tires me out, meaning that I give the energy out and don't get energy in from it. It's probably honesty because I'm a coach and I
Mhm.
work with so many clients and I can't not be honest about what I'm seeing, but I'm also very careful about how I share it and frame it. And so the judiciousness of my honesty is exhausting because I want people to receive it. And so in order to receive it, I have to be very careful about how I share it. But I'm not gonna not share it. So that is the exhausting part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're preserving it. And there's a balance, right? There's a balance in how you use your strengths. There's a balance in overusing, underusing. The authors, Nemick and McGrath, they talk about this golden mean, the
Mm,
middle, and how you have to stay in the middle so that there's balance, right? Because an underuse and an overuse can really just tip you sometimes,
mhm.
right? And tip you in ways that you don't want to feel, you don't want to think, tip you in ways that just draws all the energy and keeps you at a place where after you've done something, right? Do you find, Jess, that sometimes in these conversations where you have to be a truth teller, when you leave that conversation and you're coaching and you leave that, do you sit back and you're just like exhausted from it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is exactly how it sounds.
Mhm.
In my car or when I hit end
Uh-huh.
on the Zoom.
Yeah. That
Like, I have to take a big deep breath because you're giving everything you have. Mostly because whoever I'm talking to, I care deeply about that experience and the moment and how they receive it. So I'm walking on an edge, like,
mhm.
you
And
know,
you're doing it with care and kindness, right? So you don't want to be brutally honest, right?
yeah,
But you do want to make sure that you're truth telling, but care, but using it and doing it with care and kindness.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
good.
So in every strength, what I've just talked about in terms of it can be missed in two directions, right? And that's where we go with these overusing and underusing strengths, right? Too little, right amount, the balance, or you're using too much. So we see sometimes in these top five, the ones there is always one of those top five that you are doing too much, and you feel it. You feel it emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, like all of your body feels when you're doing too much.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't mean that if you're overusing it and oh it's bad, I've got no, it's just that the balance, so it's that right amount.
Yeah, I love that.
It's the right amount. But it can cost you. And it can cost you more sometimes than that effortless energy, is costing, it's taxing on the body.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Let's move to well, this is kind of I just did a slide on the number one because actually, Jess, I thought number one might be yours because I thought about social intelligence and when you're walking in a room. And
Mm,
I know sometimes that can be exhausting for folks. So if social intelligence, so social intelligence, when we think about it at both ends, this just gives you a picture how this
mm.
might be the right amount and then what too much looks like. So for
Yeah.
each one of your strengths, there's a balance. So the right amount, right? So you walk in a room, that social intelligence, you use it, you can read people, you're reading the room. But when you feel obligated to do it, that's when it becomes too much.